Hold it until yeah.
You are in teacher. I said, and I didn't hear a word you said.
Well, it sounds like
Usually I can see you and listen to you. I'm trying to think what to
it
say.
sounds like I really do my job very well.
I believe that.
I don't think I good. Yes, that's the one.
And the rest are giving him 2 to 1 to get that lift. Weight stays the same, 245 kgs for Patrick. for Patrick. And the bar is loaded. Let's go, Patrick.
Get it done, man. Come on. Come on. Get up, get up.
What a grind. To 260 kgs for the 93 kg Nepalese national champion, Georgie. Bar is loaded. Let's go, Georgie.
You've done this, bro. Come on. Let's go. Saw you. Your way, bro. Come on. Go. Move.
Wow. What do our reps say? He gets it. 2-1. It's a good lift.
Okay, hello. Apparently there's been some technical issues and the sound has not been working. I'm Megan and I'm commentating NZPF Nationals 2023. It's the 93 and 105 open class. Beautiful grind from Rob. That was definitely the right call by the coach. 260 is just below his best of 262.5. Thomas is retaking 260 after missing it on his second. He's been running around all week with formidable films, so it's completely understandable if he's feeling a little bit fatigued, but I think he's still trying to put up the best total he can today. Thomas just came back from Worlds in Malta. He was again competing in the 93 class. Didn't do as well as he wanted, so I think he's going to use this as a redemption meet. But when you're working all week, it's a little bit hard. Let's see what he can do here. Ooh, and that's a really good fight. Gets through a sticking point. Let's see what the refs say. 3 white lights. Perfect. Lee McLeod's going 270 for his final squat. I think his fuel is up and go. His personal best squat is 257.5. So he's doing a massive PB here.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Lee.
Ooh, big fight, but pushes through it. 3 whites for that as well.
class.
Mahaki's our last squatter of the flight with 282 and a half.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Mahaki.
This is an equal PB for Mahaki. But actually, his coach didn't even know if he was going to be able to compete today, so it's good to see he got the time off work and he's out here lifting. Big grind, but he knows how to get through that sticking point, and it's perfect on the money.
Alright, now we're going to move straight into our 105 kg class, starting with 205
So that's the end of the 93s. Mahaki in the lead at the moment with the 17 points.
Take this moment to thank our spotter loaders for all the efforts on the platform
17
today.
total.
They
And
look the most
Lee
loaded
is also
today.
tied at the moment. It has no utensils.
We might have a spare fork. I'll bring you back a fork.
Yeah.
16 out.
So we've got the 105s next.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Cullen.
First up is Callum Gordon with 205. I've heard some rumours that the boys in this flight, if they're going to want to win or get on the podium, they're going to need a total 800. The only 105 that I've seen that's totaled that recently is Heath Graham at Junior Worlds last week. Although I do know that Jamie King has totaled 800 before, just not in 2023.
3 whites for Cullen.
Smooth opener for Callum.
Weight now moves to 200.
Next up is Angus with 210. I don't think squats are his favourites. He's definitely more of a deadlift specialist. Not even sure if he likes bench, to be honest. We'll see what today has in store for him.
Bar is loaded for Angus. Let's go.
Angus's best squat is 260, so this is well below that. But I think that he's taken some time off of powerlifting specific training, gone into some strongman, and now he's back lifting. A little bit of a wonky bar there, but actually a really smooth opener.
Weight now moves to 225 kgs for Philip.
Next up is 4 bickies for Philip, 225 kilos.
Will you please keep you to time last night?
Bar is loaded for Philip.
Yeah, that looked like a really smooth opener there. 3 whites as well.
Beautiful looking over there.
Let's see if he jumps 10 or 15 kilos
Oliver's over.
for a second. Oliver's opening on 230 kilos.
Bar is loaded.
Yeah, and that's a really solid opener as well. These lifters seem to know what they're doing today. They know that you open slightly lighter than what you want. Make it look easy. Take a big jump to your second. Grind on the third. Get every kilo out of you and you're all good. That's how you get a good total. Sean's opening on 240. Ridma's just pumping the spotter's hands before he starts, maybe part of his routine and process. Maybe he views it as good luck. But also the spotter loaders are there to catch him if he fails, so always good to be on good terms with them. Now Ridma is a high bar squatter and he's squatting 247.5, which is amazing. He's obviously very quad dominant if you're high bar squatting. And 2-1 on that. Yeah, the depth looked a little bit iffy. So let's see if he can adjust for his second and third so he doesn't get three reds. Denzel's opening with 265. Now Denzel is one of the podcast hosts / Instagram page hosts of Pull for the Win. They believe that you need to load what you need for the deadlift and pull for the win, pull for the podium. Denzel's also a coach himself, so I'm sure he'll make some smart decisions. There was a sticking point, but honestly, I would say it's about RPE 7.5 through that, so he could definitely load another 10 to 15 for a second. Sean's opening was 270. So in 2023 so far, Sean's ranked 4th in New Zealand in the 105s. That does exclude Jamie King and Maui Korpu, as Jamie has so far competed as a 93 this year, but currently Sean's sitting in 4th for totals this year. I think he's looking for a podium spot. Let's see what he does with this opener and how far he can push it. He's actually only opening 5 kilos below his personal best. So he's obviously made some great squat progress. A little bit hard, but a very solid squat. 3 whites as well.
Same weight, same rack height. 270 kgs for Aaron.
Aaron's got the same weight with 270 kilos. Aaron's actually cut down from 120s. He's now cutting to 105s. I think he thinks he's more competitive, maybe more healthy in this weight class. Seems to be working for him so far. He's actually going to be pushing to be on the podium as well. Solid, a little bit difficult. Yeah, I agree with that. 2 to 1. Next up is Maui. Oh, sorry, Jamie King. 280. So Jamie's just come from Malta, where he was competing at Open Worlds, and he was competing in the 93s. He's decided to stop cutting and go full on 105s. I've heard in previous training blocks that Jamie usually has to focus either on pushing the squat or pushing the deadlift. Let's see if so far, if he's been, since Worlds, focusing on his squat or his deadlift. But a 280 opener is pretty solid. Now Jamie's known to hold his line really well, grind, and yeah, very clean opener.
Now moving to 285 kgs for none other than Mr. A7 Maui Kuku.
Maui wants to stay ahead of the pack, and he's opening on 285. Clearly very confident. I think he's looking to squat 300 or more today. He's a big advocate of A7 sleeves. I think that's what's helped him get the squat back up. Let's see how he does today, though.
Bar is loaded for Maui. Let's go.
You would have seen Maui's brother earlier in the 93s, Mahaki. So they've obviously got strong genetics, strong family. Maui's a really fast squatter into the hole. He uses the elasticity, like the bounce, to get out. And that was a beautiful opener. After that, we are Maui's in the lead with Jamie King just behind and Aaron Hills behind that in terms of predicted totals. We're back to the top of the round with Callum Gordon opening on 212.5. Only took a 7.5 kilo jump, which at this sort of weights is, I think it's below 5%, but maybe he's not feeling as confident, maybe he's had to cut some weight, so he's being more conservative and would rather just build the total. Actually looked pretty easy. 2 to 1 on depth. Angus has jumped up 10 kilos to 220. Like I said before, his best is 260 off the top of my head.
For those who have seen a few red lights here and there, I think this round will win for a check. So our referees on the side are looking for hip crease below knee. Bar is loaded. Let's go, Angus.
So since I've known Angus, he's squatted at an angle. I don't know if that inhibits him at all. Well, clearly not. So that's good to know. 220 looked really solid. Phillips jumped up a solid 10 kilos for his second attempt. Opener looked pretty good. Let's see what he does with his second. He's got the coolest socks on, actually. Maybe they bring him good luck. Oh, rocked onto his heels a bit, but was able to recover. And he knew exactly what to do to fix it, able to recover and get it. Now as we get up to these heavier weights, you'll see bigger and bigger jumps, and that's just because you normally take about a 5% jump, 5 to 10% jump, maybe 5 to 7.5 is more accurate. So you'll see a bigger jump as the weights go up. But Oliver's taken a 12.5 kilo jump. That looked real solid.
Bar is loaded.
Held his line really well. Was able to push through his little sticking point, and 2 to 1 on depth.
On one side. Still gets that lift. 255 kgs now for Redmond's second attempt squat. Bar is loaded for Redmond. Let's go.
Redman's gone up 7.5, which is quite a small jump. Maybe he's not feeling as confident. Maybe he's done a big water cut, and it's affecting his jumps. Oh yeah, he's the high bar squatter. Last one was a little bit hard, so 7.5 is the right decision, really. Let's see if he can get this. Nice solid grind, bit iffy on depth. Let's see what the refs have to say about it. They have a better angle. Oh no, 2 to 1. 2 to 1 Reds. Now the jury do have an opportunity to review this and look at it again and overturn it or not. At this point it doesn't look like they're going to. Oh, they are overturning it to a good lift. So Redman's last lift was a good lift according to the jury. It's been overturned to good. Sean's getting in the right headspace for his 255. with how tall he is, he's got a pretty low rack height, but I think that's because he's low bar, so it sits down his back a bit. It allows you to use your hips and your quads more. Bit of a fight, bit of rotation, but yeah, he was good with that. 3 white lights for a really good grind.
We're now moving to a very healthy looking bar, 275 kgs. Try breathe outside the Denzel.
Denzel's doing something that I'm sure most boys aim to work towards, which is 275, 5 reds.
Bar is loaded for Denzel. Let's go.
Again, he's saying, thank you, spotter loaders. Just realised he needs his belt. Apparently he's the most chill lifter ever. He's just walking off casually. Gonna go get his belt. He's still got 40 seconds though. Breathing, telling himself, meh, this is lightweight. Stands up and walks out like it's lightweight. Let's see how he squats it. I'd say squats it like it's medium weight, which is what a second should be.
A lot of fist pumping going on this platform today. I think it's definitely helping. 282.5 kgs now for Sean.
Sean wants 282 for a second.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Sean.
So he's already hit, if he hits this, he would hit a 7.5 kilo PB for squats. Hopefully that doesn't psych him out, the pressure to hit that PB, and he can get this and go even higher after on his third. I think he lost a little bit of tightness at the bottom and absolutely sunk it. Made it a little bit more difficult than it needed to be, but he still walks away with a 7.5 kilo PB and 3 white lights. Aaron's also doing 282.5. I think he wants to just match Sean at this point, because both of them are fighting for the podium with Jamie and Maui. He has a long sticking point, longer than I think I've seen in a while. But, oh no, 2 to red, 2 to white, reds. His coach is going to go to the jury. Jury's saying nope, it's high. Unfortunately, he will have to retake that or decide to go up and take a heavier weight, but risk staying with just his opener. Now, Jamie's doing 295 for his second. I think Jamie's best squat is 297.5, but he either could have done that as a 105 or 93. He flits between the two. Obviously, he's decided that permanently he's going to be going up to 105s. He did his last Worlds as 93, and I think that was his last comp as a 93. He's decided that the cut and lifestyle is too difficult, and 105s is way better because he gets to eat. I agree. Jamie is a very seasoned lifter, and you can see that with the way he just squatted that. That's huge. That's 295 kilos.
Weight now moves to 300 kilograms for Maui Pupu.
Maui's doing 300. It's so heavy that the spotter loaders have to jump on the rack to get it to move up to the correct rack height.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Maui.
I think Maui's hit this once before. Oh no, Maui's best is 297.5, so this is a PB for him. Oh no, it's 302.5. I'm sorry. Last comp at Commonwealth was 295 is what it got. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I think he will say it's the A7 sleeves. 2 to 1.
For those playing along at home, we've got a very interesting battle here today. Aaron Hills, the previous 120 champion, moved to 105 class.
And now we are on to thirds.
93 kg champion moves to 105 kg class to battle with Maui to take away his treasured 105 kg champion title. Maybe. 220 kgs now being loaded for Callum. These are the final team squats, so let's get behind them. Bar is loaded, let's go, Callum.
In and out of the hole really quickly. I think that helped with that third. It was a good choice.
Weight now moves to 230 kgs for Angus, who is final team squatter today. Bar is loaded, let's go, Angus. Thinking you'll miss it. Green white lights. Very nice. Alright, 220 kgs now for Philip. Bar is loaded, let's go Philip, get after it.
Philip's gone up 5 kilos for his third to 240. Oh yeah, he rocked on his heels the last time. Maybe he feels like that might happen again under heavier weight. But he was able to recover quite well on the second. I think because he was scared about rocking on his heels, he cut that a little bit. Let's see what the refs say. 2 to 1, that's really successful.
Gets it, 2 to 1. 250 kgs now being loaded for Oliver. Bar is loaded, let's go Oliver.
Might have sunk it a little bit too much, but also the spotter loaders were really good to catch that. Nearly missed the rack, but otherwise they saved him, which was great.
250 kg stays on
That's why we have 5 spotters for anything over 200 kilos. And 3 spotters for anything below 200. Cassius is also trying 250. Let's see if he's more successful. Solid fight there. Unfortunately, depth pulls are all over here today. And maybe some soft knees as well.
257.5 kgs now being loaded for his third and final attempt.
Redmer's gone up 2.5 from his second, which he missed. I think he knows what to adjust. And he's going to come out here and smash it. He's obviously confident if he thinks he can go up at least 2.5 from his second. Now depth will be his downfall, if anything, so let's see if he knows. Sink it and you get it. Hit the hole and fight, basically, is what I say. I thought that was 100% better depth. And so do the refs. 100% worth it then.
Bar is loaded. Come on, Sean. Fight for it, man.
I think that looked cleaner than his second. That was really great. He seems happy with that. Denzel's gone up 5 kilos, so he did a 10 kilo jump and then a 5 kilo jump to his third for 280.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Denzel.
Nice and solid walkout there. Solid as squat as well. Knew exactly how to recover out of the hole there. It was beautiful. 2-1 there. I think the fist bumps helped. And now he's thanking the refs for their work so far. Maybe just trying to get on their good side before bench and deadlifts. Maybe just thankful for what they're doing for the sport. So Aaron's retaking 282.5. He needs this to stay in the race for the podium. That good depth, but I don't know if he's used to training to that depth, and maybe it just felt really strange coming out of the hole. He didn't even bother pushing. He knew it just wasn't going to be there. Might have misgrooved a little bit. That's why I do always say train to depth. Train to comp standards, and helps for on the day. Not saying that he doesn't.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Sean.
But yeah. Sean's loaded 290 for his third. Obviously his previous PV was 285. I mean 275, sorry.
Looks like he's stretching that one.
Decided, nope, not for me today. I mean, he already got a PB.
Alright, weight is now moving to 302.5 kgs for JPK. 666 pounds. A very juicy looking bar. Get behind these guys. Bar is loaded. Come on, Jamie, let's go.
Now, Jamie King's coming up for 302.5. His previous best is 300, so I think he wants to just get a little bit ahead of the pack. And I think he wants to get the PB as well. Might be feeling confident with the extra body weight and no cut. A little bit shaky, but now looks really steady standing there. Look at that beautiful fight. That actually wasn't even, I've seen him squat harder than that. And 2-1 there. Three solid attempts there, and
305 kgs now being loaded for Maui.
a nice PB.
Lockie, be careful, please.
Spotters just being told to be careful when they're trying to change the rack heights. Now this is the last squat of the day. Maui with 305. Maui always walks it out really fast. I think he feels confident under that weight. And yeah, he had a right to feel confident. That was a great squat. Maui knows now that he is currently in the lead. That's all the squats for the day. Currently Maui is predicted with 772.5 total, and Jamie King with 770. We will be back in 10 minutes for bench. So coming up in 2 minutes is bench. Will be the 93s first and then the 105s. What the refs will be looking for here, what the commands are, is you unrack the bar. It's a start. Then when the bar is motionless on your chest, it's a press.
They can't hear you right now.
How do I make it work?
Is it because it's on this screen? Is it because it's on this screen?
If it's on the bench screen, it'll
Yeah,
like
okay,
in
sweet.
between.
Perfect. That's fine. Oh, Chris is opening. I like commentating, it's fun.
Alright, we'll be kicking off our bench press for this section in just under a minute. We're going to be starting with 117.5 kgs on the barbell press pickup.
I'll be moving back and forth from like over here.
Can I get all referees and officials?
Do you just have to sit here all the time?
Platform?
Do you get to like go home and stuff or no?
Hello, welcome back to the 93 105s.
17.5 kg.
They're doing bench first or second now, and Chris is opening with 117.5. So what the refs are looking for here is you to unrack the bar with, and then you have straight elbows. They'll give you the start command. When the bar is motionless on your chest, you get a press command, and when it is back up and fully locked out, you get a rack command. Exactly like Chris demonstrated. He's a ref, he knows how to lift properly and to the standards. Good solid opener for Chris. Arvin's opening with 125.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Arvin.
Arvin says no to a handout. Some people are self-lift-off people, so they'll lift it off themselves. Some people need the handout. It actually depends on how you set up, how close you set up to the rack, and how your shoulders are set. So as you can see, Arvin's trying to get on top of his shoulders now. Doesn't move the bar too far when he unracks it. That's why he can do it himself.
Well, our reps say
It's a really long way for the bar to move, but that was a really solid opener.
130, not 230. 130 kgs for Tyler. Maybe in a few years. Bar is loaded.
Let's go, Tyler.
Tyler's just telling the head spotter loader how to hand it out. Now the lifters know that they need to give clear instructions if they want a perfect lift out, and it can affect how you bench. I've seen many people at many comps fail because of the lift out they get, and it's just because you don't give clear enough instructions, or you're not flexible enough and you know that there may be some errors sometimes. But this is an opener, so regardless of the lift out, you should be able to get it. Really solid opener.
Right leg. The good left. Moving now to 135 kgs for Rob. Bar is loaded.
Looks like Rob put his email address in for his Instagram handle, robvis@gmail.com. But I do know that he's also at rob_vis for Instagram. Little bit hard, but actually Rob's coming back from having chicken pox or shingles, so it's quite understandable. He's been really sick the last couple of weeks. It's a good opener, but they'll have to be quite conservative with the jumps they decide to take today. Luckily, he's coached by, in my opinion, the best game day coach in New Zealand, Atlas Powerlifting, so they'll know what to do to still get as many kilos out of him as they can. Patrick's opening on 135 now. Nothing really to say about that because it was smooth, easy sailing there. One of our Formidable Films owners or duo, one half of the duo of Formidable Films is Thomas, and he has been working all week filming at Nationals, but he's now out here competing today. I know he took this morning off so that he could rest up a little bit before he competed, but I also know that he was here until at least 10 p.m. last night filming and working. So let's see if that's affected his training at all and competition today. And that really doesn't look bad at all. I don't think extra work has affected comp so far. He got 2-1. Bum one side, the ref thought that his bum came up, but 2-1 is still a good lift. One of the Korpu brothers, Mahagi, is opening on 165. You would have seen Maui doing his squats and he ended on 305, so this family is very strong. Solid looking opener there.
Now moving to 167.5 for Lee. Bar is loaded. Let's go, Lee.
Thank you. Thanks.
Now Lee sinks it into his chest. A lot of the time when you sink it, the centre referee has to wait until the bar is completely motionless, so you actually get a longer press call. But it clearly works for Lee because he's able to explode and use that explosion off the chest to help lock out. Christian's opening with 177.5 kilos. 3 nice bickies with a little silver plate on the side. Christian also sinks it, as you saw, but did you see how it was fast off his chest? That's the explosion that I was talking about. And nice 3 white lights. That was the last lift of the round. Now we go on to seconds. Chris's second is 125. I think his best is 130 or 132.5 in the gym. He'll be looking to go around that today if everything goes to plan.
It's loaded. Let's go, Chris.
If you'll notice, we're actually using the new Ōtautahi rack. Ōtautahi is one of the sponsors of this event of Nationals 2023. It's a different rack to what people are used to, different bench. It's quite hard. It can take some getting used to. Chris is lucky, he gets to train on it quite often, so he knows what it feels like. And this should be smooth sailing for him. And I was right, yep. 3 whites, looks like he's got another 5 to 7.5 left in there. Let's see what they go up to.
Is loaded. Come on, Arvin.
Arvin's coached by Jason, Jason Clark. He's actually got a lot of 93s and 105s in the session, so Jason is very busy watching all his lifters. So far doing a really good job with them though. And that's a really good second attempt from Arvin.
135 kgs now being loaded for Tyler. Is loaded. Let's go, Tyler.
Tyler's gone up 5 kilos from 130 to 135. Just reminding the head spotter loader exactly how he likes his hand out. It's always good to do that because we see about 14 people in each flight and you forget how everyone likes their handouts. Getting on top of those shoulders really well. Another solid lift from Tyler.
140 kgs now being loaded for Robin.
Robin's taken a conservative jump
Is loaded.
after his little bit difficult 135. Maybe the sickness is catching up to him. I do know that he had to cut a kilo of weight though, and that can affect your lifts, especially bench. Bench loves body weight. It's a big fight. Bum might be coming up. Let's see what the refs say. Yeah. Up and down.
Let's not get that one. Up and down movements.
So the bar went a bit up and down. That's why it was red with blues. that means that the bar has not gone up in one solid line. It can stop, but it can't go down. Patrick's up next with 140. This is 3 plates in a commercial gym. Always a big goal for boys. Some girls. And he makes good work of it. Might have been some up and down on the right, but the refs say no. 3 whites.
Now moving to 147.5 kgs for Thomas in second attempt.
Thomas has jumped up to 147.5, so that's 5 kilos.
Bar is loaded. Come on, Thomas.
Thomas's best is 145, so he's actually going for a 2.5 kilo PB on his second. I think he's made some good bench gains lately. Also some deadlift gains, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that is. I do know Thomas was cutting weight, and like I said earlier, it can affect your bench especially. He'll try and get that on his third attempt.
57 kg, 152.5 kgs for Georgie. Bar is loaded. Let's go, Georgie.
Georgie's gone up a solid 7.5. When the weights get this heavy, you can actually jump up that much, usually about 5%. Had to straighten his elbows. So the head ref is just saying his elbows weren't straight. You get 5 seconds to hold it there, and if the ref still thinks that you didn't adjust it, they'll make you replace the bar and you have to reset up and do it. He doesn't actually have to walk off the platform. He has decided to. He's got 7 seconds to set up. 5. I'm not sure if he will make it in time. He will just have to retake it on his third. Normally if you get asked to replace the bar, you wouldn't walk off the platform, as that wastes time. You wouldn't undo your wrist straps either. But he decided to. Maybe he thought they weren't tight enough, and that's affected his elbows being straight or not. Mahaki's up next with 172.5. I think he's the stronger of the two brothers in IPF points, so let's see what he does today. Although I do know that Maui's known as the better bencher. Maui's in the 105s though, so we'll see that later. And that was great. Looks like he's been getting some work from his brother on his bench.
Now moving to 175 kgs for Lee. Bar is loaded.
So Lee's best is 172.5 in competition, and he's actually going for a PB on his second. He's also going for the 3 red plates. Another milestone press. Beautiful second attempt choice there by Jason and Lee.
And just announced that Georgie is going to get another attempt, a second attempt. At the end of this round, the jury have awarded him that. bar is loaded.
Because he didn't have his elbows straight. He doesn't deserve another attempt. No.
So Georgie's been allowed to do his second attempt over again at the end of this round. The jury's decided that they should. I'm unsure why, as the bar was not misloaded to my knowledge. And he timed out because he decided to take his wrist straps off, but we will see if he can make up for it. Right now we have Christian with 185. Fast descent, explode, sink into the chest, get stuck at the top, but that's what happens with that close grip. You have to activate those triceps in that close grip. So now this is Georgie doing his... Georgie's actually redoing 157.5, even though I can see it says 162.5 on the screen. It's 157.5. He's redoing his second attempt.
Zach, why are they going?
Start call, but the jury thinks that he should have.
Bar is loaded. Next go, Georgie.
Okay, so the jury thinks that he should have been given the start call, that his elbows were actually locked out. He's had less rest time because he was in the middle of the flight before, and now he's at the end of the flight 2 benches. End of this flight's benches, but we'll see if that's enough time for him to rest. A little bit hard, but I think that was worth it. Solid attempt there. Now with a little bit extra rest, he maybe be able to do his 162.5 third attempt.
Of this round, 130 kgs being loaded for Chris.
Chris is going for 130 kilos. His comp PB is 127.5. So he's looking for that little PB on his third attempt. Completely understandable. Second attempt is usually between, third attempt is usually between like over what you've over a little bit over your PB, or maybe 5 kilos over your PB. If your second attempt is above your comp PB, that's because you've made a lot of progress quite quickly, or since the last time you competed. But yeah, Chris is looking to chip his PB by 2.5 kilos. I think this will mean a lot for him. So his elbows flared there a little bit on the press, but actually that was a perfect call from the coach and Chris.
135 kgs now being loaded for Arvin.
Alvin's doing 5 kilo jumps for 125, 130, and now 135 for his third. Just below 300 pounds there. A little bit of a slow on the way, up, especially at lockup, but I think he still had a little bit left in the tank, so that's a perfect number for his third attempt. Robin Viss is going to retake 140 after failing it on a second due to up and down movement. He did lock it out. Let's see if he can tidy it up a little bit. He looks a little bit more fired up for this one. Trying to get really tight. Oh, and unfortunately, I think the sickness has affected his bench.
140 kgs for Tyler. Bar is loaded.
Tyler's currently being handled by the Sheffield champ Evie Corrigan, so I think they know what they're doing with these 5 kilo jumps, and I'm sure Tyler has this. A little bit of a sticking point, but he pushed through it. I think that was the perfect number for Tyler's third bench.
We're going to move just a little bit up to 142.5 kgs for Patrick's final bench press attempt of the day.
Patrick's taken a small jump to his third attempt, 2.5. Maybe he thought, oh yeah, second was a little bit hard, I'll take a small jump and just build my total. You know what? No kilos were left on the platform there. A 2.5 kilo jump means that he didn't actually miss out on any kilos he didn't have, so that was a great attempt. Thomas is still looking for that PB bench on his. He obviously missed it on his second, but he's trying again on his third. Hopefully he knows what to adjust to fix it and get it this time. Thomas has a beautiful arch and he touches softly. His touch point is quite soft and controlled. And that was much, much better than his second. Maybe his touch point was a little bit funky. Bum came up. Handler is going to argue that with the jury. Just say, please have a look. And the jury has a side view. Can see if his bum actually did come up or not. Now, Dorji's doing 162.5 after retaking his second attempt. And unfortunately, Thomas's last bench wasn't overturned by the jury. They agree that his bum did come up. A little bit sticky, obviously failed it, but I think that the short break between his retake of his second attempt and this third attempt has affected him. It's a really fast, quick turnaround for him. Normally we with max outs like this, we will try and rest between 5 to 10 minutes. And yeah, maybe the 5-minute rest, he needed a little bit more to be able to make that a successful lift. Mahaki's coming out with 175 next. That's 3 reds. Huge milestone. Obviously he's already hit his equal PB bench with 172.5. Looking here for a PB. Mahaki's going to be building that total. He's looking for the podium, I think. Him and Lee definitely will be.
Now the barrel's loaded. Let's go, Mahaki.
Perfect number choice by Mahaki and his coach. 2.5 kilo PB, 175, 3 reds.
180 kgs now being loaded for Lee.
Lee's going 180. Just a 5 kilo jump from his second.
Bar is loaded. Come on, Lee. Very nice looking bench press. 3 white lights. He gets it. 190 kgs now being loaded for Christian.
A massive 190 kilos for Christian now as our last bench of the 93s. So massive that Lockie, one of the spotters, has to jump on the rack to get it to go higher. Even with Christian's second, he had the best bench of the round. Of the 93s anyway. I actually saw his left hand slip a little bit there when it got stuck in the middle. I think he was using so much lateral force that his hand slipped a little bit. Or it could have been my imagination. Okay. Now we have the 105 kilo open men with their benches, and we're starting with Angus. Like I said when the session started, Angus is not a fan of bench. I've known him for a few years, and yeah, he trains it because he has to. I know he trained it quite a lot when he injured his back. Then he went to strongman. I think it's gone backwards a little bit, and now he's regained his momentum, and it's going back on the up. Opening with 132.5 though is no small feat.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Angus.
Angus is another one of the pull for the win co-hosts. He believes deadlifts are the best. You pull for the win. And when you're pulling for the win, you often do not have an amazing subtotal. You have a not so great bench. But that looked great for an opener.
Yeah, 3 white lights. Now moving to 155 kgs for Philip. Bar is loaded. Bar is loaded.
Philip's opening on just 5 kilos below his comp PB. 140 is his comp PB. Opening with 135. I think he'll be looking to beat that today. And with that solid opener, I think he's got it. Could either go 140, 145 or 142 and a half for a second. Let's see what they decide.
Fire is loaded. Come on, Rima.
Ridmer has a high bar squat and a very long close grip bench. Long way for the bar to move, clearly works for him. He might view it that he is tricep dominant and that's the way to bench for him. The wider your grip, the more pecs and shoulders you'll be using. So close grip bench, where it's that close, long way for it to go, is more tricep dominant. You'll see wide grip is hard off the chest, close grip is hard at lockout. Sean saying, no, I don't want a handout. Sean's got a wide grip. And a nice arch. Gets on top of those shoulders quite well. It did explode off the chest. I was wondering if his bum popped up. Just needs to plant that bum a bit harder and do it again for a second. I think Cassius is just getting in the right mindset before he sets up. You'll see the side refs on the side. They're looking at bum and elbow depth and feet lifting or anything, but that was a solid good lift and 3 white lights.
Next, 3 white lights for colour. A great opener. We're now going to move to 170 kgs for Denzel's opener. Bar is loaded. Let's go, Denzel.
Like with squats, Denzel's like, please fist bump me for good luck. Worked on squats, so let's see if it works on bench for him. Nice pop up off the chest, but bum. I did see his bum pop. Clearly the ref says bum's popping. So one ref saying butt lift, one ref is saying elbows. Let's see what the jury says. Jamie's opening with 170.
Bars loaded.
Jamie's actually worked really hard on his bench the last few years. So at Worlds he benched 180. That was his his best bench performance yet. Previously he would bench like in the 170s, and it was stuck there for a very long time, for about 3 or 4 years actually. So great start opening on 170.
Bars loaded. Let's go, Oliver. One on that one.
2-1 on that one. I think there's some bum coming up. The 105s seem to be getting a lot of bum come ups this session. Refs must be really looking at that. So far, no elbow issues, elbow depth issues from the centre ref or the side refs, but the side refs are looking at bum a lot today and saying, nah, yours is coming up. So it has to stay planted the whole time. Nearly jumped the press command there, moved on his chest a little bit. Maybe that's why it was a little bit hard. And I think the refs picked it up.
And that one as well too. Now moving to 185 kg for Aaron. Happy break the curse with the first attempt failed. Sorry, that's a bit dark.
So at Commonwealths in December last year, he benched, Aaron benched 190. He's obviously since then cut down a weight class to 105s, because he was 120s when he benched 190. He's now 105s, and he's opening on 185. So clearly this weight cut has not affected his strength, if his bench strength specifically, if he thinks he can open on 5 kilos below his what he finished on at Commonwealths. Apologies. At Commonwealth in December, Aaron benched 195 kilos. And he gets 3 whites. Strength has clearly not been affected. That's beautiful. Maui's opening on 187 kilos. The MC just said that his A7 knee sleeves won't be able to help him here, and that's exactly what I was thinking. He has to rely on pure strength for this one and some technique. Let's see how he goes. Now his best is 192.5, so he's opening 5 kilos below that. Looks pretty good. 3 white lights.
140 kgs now being loaded for Angus.
And we're back to the top of the round with Angus doing his second at 140 kilos.
Jimbo's dream bench. Bar is loaded, let's go Angus. Three white legs. He has reached Jimbo status. 140 kgs remains at the bar. Bar is loaded, let's go Philip.
Good job by Philip. I'm actually not sure when he breathes through that entire press. I didn't see him breathe when he got the start command. So if he holds his breath for that whole time, that's really impressive. I've seen a lady, Rochelle, actually black out from holding her breath for too long on bench. She's learned that when you get the start command, you breathe and then you press. Sean's retaking 150 as he missed it on his first because his bum came up. One of the ones with the bum issue on their first attempt, but luckily it's an opener and you can adjust. A little bit of a pop off his bum, but still 3 whites. Now him and his coach have the decision of jumping to their planned second, jumping to their planned third, or jumping in between their second and their third. We'll see what they decide. Ridmer's going 152.5 for his second attempt here. 5 kilo jump from his first. He was the one with the really close grip. A 5 kilo jump is quite understandable when you are that close grip. It can go so well and just get stuck at lockout. So let's see if this 5 kilos makes a dent in his movement pattern or if he's all good and can still add more afterwards. He looks like he's built real solidly and those triceps look huge, so sure he'll be all good. Yeah, perfect. Beautiful bench. Cassius is again getting himself into the right mindset before he sets up and does his bench. Quite a few top level lifters will do that. They realize that the mind can play a huge role in the way that we lift. And you just want to kind of treat everything like how you do it in the gym. But that was a great lift, and maybe that is because he knows how to bench. He also gets his mind in the right place. Next up is Denzel. He's trying to do his opener again. Bum came up on the first one, so refs are looking for that again. He will try and keep his bum nice and planted on the bench, and hopefully it's a successful lift. Spotter loaders are just cleaning the bench and the bar. Too much chalk can actually become extra slippery, There is a certain point you want. Crowd's getting behind him a bit. He's got quite a few supporters in the crowd. Yeah, that looked a lot more solid. I did not see his bum move at all, and it was good. He kept it on the ground, on the bench. It actually moved exactly the same as opener, so I think they can jump quite high for their third. Callum's got his triple cheeseburger here. 3 red plates for bench. Always a big goal for boys. There's quite a few milestones in powerlifting. There's the 100 pounds, 200 pounds, 300 pounds. But then there's also the 2 plates, 3 plates, 4 plates. Let's see if he can adjust on his third attempt and get that, so he can get his 3 red plates. Jamie's doing 177.5 kilos, so a 7.5 kilo jump is quite normal when you're benching 170s. I think they're going to be looking for a roundabout equal PB or PB if this moves well. Considering that it's 2.5 kilos below his best bench of 180, he's looking good. I think they'll either go equal PB, so 180, or 182.5 for their third. Now Oliver's trying to come out again and redo his opener, 177.5, as he was one of the ones that was affected by the bench curse, his bum coming up. Just doing his belt up. That is the one piece of equipment you can do on the platform. They don't like to see you adjusting your wrist straps, knee sleeves, anything else. But you can put your belt on the platform. That's just a rule to aid in viewer retention, I guess. Keep the audience interested. A little bit of a collapse onto his chest, but he fought through really well. Normally if a bench collapses that fast, you would expect the person to be pinned by that bench, but he was strong enough to fight through, so that's really, really cool to see. Sean's got 182.5. He's retaking it after also being affected by the bench curse this session. So far, everyone's been able to adjust and keep their bum down this time. Let's see if Sean can do it too. He is in the running for the podium, so he should be working hard for that. Yeah, it's a little bit hard without the leg drive. 2-1. Hopefully the jury does not overturn that, as I don't think that he has a lot left in the tank, and he just fought through that. I don't think he can come out and do it again unless he's got a really long break. So let's hope that the jury keeps it good as a good lift. Aaron Hill's coming out for 190, 5 kilos below his 120 bench PB of 195. So if he hits 195 today but at a lower body weight, that is so impressive. Like I said before, bench is affected by body weight. Loves chonkies, it loves gains. getting stuck off that point, he actually had a really slow descent, and that's because his back, I think, was so tight that you actually have to fight sometimes. When your muscles are that tight, you have to be like, just relax a little bit so that you can still get it to your chest. Then when he pushed it off his chest, his elbows flared a little bit. He lost position and he got stuck. Let's see if he can adjust on his third. Maui's coming out with 195. This is a PB on his second, so this will be really cool to see. Maui broke his hand in the beginning of this year. He's worked hard to get it back, and it's worked. Look at that. That flew. He might finally get his 200 kilo bench that he's wanted for a really long time. It'll be cool to see. Now Maui knows that you need at least an 800 total if you want to win 105s today. I think he's fighting his hardest for that. He has prepped himself. I think he's been focused on it for quite a long time. He doesn't usually have this stiff competition, so I think he's loving it and getting stronger and stronger every session. Angus with 145 now. And a perfect number for Angus there. Don't think there was much left, so 145 was great. He looks happy. Phillips also coming out for 145. Let's see if he can make it move like that or better. Unfortunately, a bit too much for Philip. I actually think he got a really fast press command and wasn't ready to press that quickly. Didn't let it sink enough yet.
And the bar is loaded. Come on, Ridma.
Ridma with his close grip bench has decided to go up 7.5 this time because 152.5 moved so well. Fingers crossed it doesn't get stuck, but like I said, it got stuck at the midpoint. Lockout is the hardest. He maybe should have taken the conservative 2.5 to 5 kilos jump. Clearly wanted 160, understandably. It's always good to load what you want. Sometimes it's nice and surprising when you do get it. Sean wants 160 as well. Let's see if Sean can get it. He did have the issue of his bum coming up on his opener, but he got it on his second. I think he's jumped to about in between a second and a third for his final attempt. There's a little bit more in there, but I don't think he would have felt comfortable jumping 12.5 to 15 kilos more. He looks happy with that. A little bit surprised actually at how well it moved. It's always nice when that happens.
And the bar is loaded. Let's go, Cassius.
Cassius gets himself ready, mind ready. Taking a bit longer this time. Maybe he thinks he needs a little bit more seconds time spent thinking about the lift. I think it paid off though, because that was solid. Let's see what the refs say. Unfortunately, downward movement. From the angle I had, it looked a little bit like it stopped. I'd like to see it on a replay. Jury's having a look at it though, and they'll decide if it's overturned or not.
It's loaded. Let's go, Callum.
Callum's retaking. Oh no, the rack height is not correct. And now Callum's taking 175. Missed it on a second. Definitely think he can come out, adjust a little bit, and take it for a third. Unfortunately, not today. Maybe 170 or 172 and a half would have been there. Retrospect can be a really hard thing. Denzel's going 177 and a half, so obviously he missed his opener, got it on a second, knew that he needed to keep his butt down, did it really well, has taken a 7.5 kilo jump. This is probably this is probably his planned second attempt. Maybe he doesn't feel confident jumping that much to 10 to 12 kilos to his planned third. Hyping himself a little bit, up a little bit, looking at the bar. I think he got this in the gym, so yeah, we'll see. And actually that was an absolutely perfect call. I don't know if he would have had a lot more left, so 177 and a half was great. Jamie's going 180 kilos for his third. I did think he would go for a bench PB or an equal bench PB. It is just an equal bench PB this time, so. But still, he is here to win, not only get PBs. Also getting himself into the right mindset. Nice and tight setup. Sets up on those shoulders and drives through those heels. Good to see that. That was really easy for a third. He might be wanting to save his back though. Save his back for deadlifts. Oliver's also going out for 180. Only took a 2.5 kilo jump from his opener / second. And actually, he left no kilos out there, Luckily, he got his opener, 177 and a half on his second. Really close to bombing out, if you think about it, seeing as 180 wasn't there. But luckily, he got 177 and a half. Maybe he was just gassed from the other two attempts. Sean coming out for 187.5 kilos. Now the spotter loaders are actually moving the rack because it's been, once the platform has holes in it, it can start wobbling, and it can get a little bit distracting and wobbly when you're trying to set up. I felt it myself.
Bar is loaded. Come on, Sean, let's go.
So Sean's best PB is 185 for bench. He's actually coming out with trying to chip his PB with 187.5 on his third. Build that big total and see where it goes from there. But did just a little bit too much today.
Not there today, unfortunately. We're now going to move to 190 kgs for Aaron. He missed this on his second attempt. And we're looking to show up for his boss on his third. Bar is loaded, let's go Aaron.
Aaron retaking 190 after missing it on his second. And that's beautiful. Beautiful PB right there.
Well, there we go. We got that attention. Right lights. Our final bench press of this round, 197.5 kgs being loaded for Maui.
Our final bench press is 197.5 kilos. So close to 200, but just not quite there. I know in 2019 Nationals he benched 182.5 kilos, and 200 has been a goal for a long time, I'm pretty sure. He's inching towards that if he gets this 197.5. So close. So his previous PB was 192.5.
Bar is loaded. Come on, Maui, let's go.
I think Maui's thinking, I don't need 200 right now. I need that. I need to build my total. I need to go 6 for 6, and I need to head towards that 800 kilo total. And yeah, that was the right call from Jason and Maui. Oh no. Unfortunately, his bum came up. Okay, that was the last bench of the round. We will be back in 10 minutes for deadlifts. So we're starting with Arvin, 235 kilos on the bar. Deadlifts are pretty easy in terms of calls. Refs just give you a down command. They're looking for locked out shoulders, locked out hips, locked out locked out knees, sorry. Like that. And you get it down. Nice and clean, no support on the legs, no hitching. Beautiful clean lift. Tyler's opening with 245. I've heard he trains out of Recreate Performance, who's one of our sponsors for this event. Recreate Performance, Atlas Gymnasium / Atlas Powerlifting and Hyperbolic Fitness are sponsoring the event, as well as Raise Lower, the Lion Foundation, SPD and Aleco. So thank you to our amazing sponsors. And it's a nice clean opener for Tyler. Chris is also doing 245 for his opener. I think deadlifts are Chris's favourite. He trains in the same gym as me and he loves slamming the weights down. That was very good for him. He's good at grinding. 2 to 1. Coach is just asking what's the red for. They think the red's for left knee not locked out fully. Rob's doing 255. I think this is well below his personal best, but he has, in his last heavy lower body session, he injured himself. So peak was amazing until that session. So I think they just need to be a little bit conservative with their openers and their jumps today. That looks pretty good. Hopefully it's locked out. Yeah, 3 whites. Rob used to be a conventional lifter, switched to sumo in the past year and a bit. It seems to be working for him. Now you can probably hear the music in the background. They've put it quite loud for deadlifts. Try to get the vibe in here going. Christian deadlifts with a very, very close stance. So normally you would see, I like to tell my lifters, choose a stance that you feel the most powerful in. Christian must feel that he is the most powerful in that very close feet together. It's a smaller base of support, but it works for him. He's able to pull 260 quite comfortably. Georgie's opening on 265. Nearly 5 red plates. Maybe that will be his second attempt. Georgie's also a sumo lifter, so there is conventional, which you've seen, and sumo with the wider foot stance. It's really up to the lifter's preference, biomechanics. He might get called for soft knees. Let's see what the refs say. Yeah, 2 to 1, bit of soft knees. Mahaki's opening with 272.5. His best is 290. I think he'll be looking to hit a PB today. When you're lifting these heavy weights, you can do quite big jumps. So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes 272, 290, and see where you go from there. If this moves well. Yeah, and that looks really solid. Satisfied belt flick. Happy with it. One half of our Formidable Films duo, Thomas, is opening on 277.5. I think his training has been really good with deadlifts. His personal best is 285. Oh no, 290, sorry. let's see what he does at the moment. I think he's been hitting some massive PBs, like volume PBs specifically. Thomas was in Malta recently at Open Worlds. He's got international experience. He's been working hard this week though. Bench didn't really go his way. Deadlift might be the one that's going to be his lift for the day. That looked great.
Weight now moves to 280 kgs for Lee.
Lee's pulling 280 for his opener. I remember in 2020 I think he pulled 300, which was really cool. That was the last time CPA hosted nationals, and I remember Lee pulling 300 there, so maybe he's going to look for 300 again. Last time he pulled it was at Commonwealth in December. Very speedy. Yeah, I would not be surprised if they go 295 above 300 after the third attempt.
2.5 kgs for Patrick's opener. A massive 666 pounds
Patrick's opening with a massive 666 pounds.
by total.
Sorry, that was incorrect. 302 pounds. Can't remember what that is in kilos. I mean 302 kilos. Can't remember what that is in pounds, sorry. Nice and speedy. That's how you make 300 move. Deadlifts go really quickly. It's basically no rack height changes or anything. It's just the plates. So I expect to go through these quite quickly. And we're back to the top of the round already. Alvin's taken a 10 kilo jump to his second. A little bit sticky off the floor, a little bit sticky just above his knees, but yeah, he's got more in there. Good second attempt. Tyler's also jumped 10 kilos to his second attempt. Now the spotter loaders are just rolling the bar to the front of the platform, and they're just going to clean off some of the chalk. Too much chalk, too much baby kit powder can get a little bit slippery there, so they just clean it. Helps with grip. You don't really you want lifters to get their attempts, so spotter loaders will sometimes definitely clean at the end of the round, definitely between every third attempt, and just randomly throughout the first and second attempts. Especially if the lifter asks for it to be cleaned. Pulls the tension out of the bar, slack out of the bar quite well. Does a nice little hip wedge. Little bit hard, but actually really good. Fight through that knee area, and then he gets it.
Now moves to 260 kgs for Chris. I will not be making the joke about his surname. Bar is loaded.
Let's go, Chris. Come on.
Chris is taking quite a standard jump for this sort of weights, 260, so 15 kilo jump, quite normal. A little bit hard, but Chris is known to grind. His PB is 272.5. Let's see if he'll go for that on his third, or decide to take a more conservative jump. Rob's also taken a 15 kilo jump to his second, 270 kilos. Rob's PB is 277.5. So if this moves well, they might go 280 for a PB deadlift.
Now it's loaded. Come on, Rob.
Rob's got some massive quads, and sumo helps. You get to use those quads in sumo. A little bit hard, but actually really off the floor, but really fast. Same issue again with the knee, but still 2-1, so it's a good lift. Jury are looking at it again just in case. So far, doesn't look like they're going to overturn it though. Christian's going for that 600-pound deadlift. Again, he's got that narrow conventional stance. Works quite well for him. Looked a little bit wobbly there though, so with that small base of support it can be a little bit difficult, but that looked great for a second. Georgie's coming out for 280. Laughing at the bar, knowing this is lightweight for him. He knows he can do this. Nice slack pull there. He's a hook grip lifter. Locks out those knees early to get them out of the way and then pushes through those hips. Unfortunately, it's a little bit of up and down there and some hitching. Don't think it was really close enough to be hitching, but definitely some up and down. I agree with that. Thomas is pulling just below his PB deadlift. His PB is 290. He's going 287.5 for a second. He's focused and ready to pull this. I love Thomas's setup. Oh, and look at that. He's definitely got more in the tank there for a PB. He nods at that. He knows. So on Mahaki's second, he's going for an equal comp PB, 290. Maybe if this moves well, we'll see a beautiful 300 from him. Considering that he didn't even know if he was going to get the day off of work, it's good to see him here, good to see him lifting. It's good to see him lifting so well. Currently with the 730 total. Looking to bump that up by another 17.5 kilos with this pull. And yeah, he's now 747.5. Beautiful. Lee also has a 730 total. If he gets this, he'll be at 745 kilos, sorry. So he will be just behind Mahaki in terms of the podium. But one mistake from Mahaki and Lee can slip in there and take the spot. Lee's lucky. He's got the heavier deadlift, so he gets to see what Mahaki does. And he gets the chance to load what he needs to win. Great second attempt from Lee. Patrick's pulling a massive 317.5 kilos. Someone loves deadlifts. This will put him above 700 kilo total. Always a big goal for boys. One day for girls, I think. Yeah, he's a strong deadlifter. And lifting in vans, which is actually slightly higher than lifting in like Notorious or anything like that. Final attempts for 93s. Let's see who's going to walk away with the national title. So you will see the spotter loaders cleaning the bar between every attempt. We want to give the lifters the best chance possible to pull their third deadlift. Oven's finishing the day with 250. He'll be above 600 total if he gets that, so I think that's why he's jumped 5 kilos to get that 600 kilo total. That must be one of his goals for the day. Fingers crossed he gets it. Fighting, but just can't get through that knee sticking point. We did see it in a second, that point exactly was his hard point. So close to 600. Luckily he has more and more comps in his future where he can try that again. Tyler's going 260 for his third attempt. Just a 5 kilo jump, but actually his second was a little bit hard. So maybe he's like, I'll just take the kilos that are there. Have a good day. Getting a little bit hyped up. He needs to keep it nice and close if he wants to get it, and that was successful. Beautiful. Got it nice and close to those thighs, and I think that's what made the difference there. Able to lock it out nice and clean. Chris pickup just going just below his PB of 272.5. I think instead of going for a comp PB, they're taking the conservative. Like they're saying, let's just take what's there for the day. If this flies, he can always go do another lift in the warm-up room for fun. Nah, he knew. Maybe he decided, nope, I don't want to try for another 5 kilos. That's too much effort. Georgie's retrying 280. So his PB's 270. If he gets this 280, he's got a 5 kilo deadlift PB, which is great. I think Georgie just needs to clean it up a little bit. And he'll be all good. He had the strength last time, if I remember correctly. Gassed a little bit, I think, but good effort. Saying thanks to the rest for the hard work. Robin Viss going for a PB deadlift. If he gets this, he will be 2.5 kilos below his best PB total, but considering he has been sick for the past week and injured himself in his last heavy session, that's amazing to still put this total together if he gets this lift here. Let's see if he can fight with sumo. He's still newish to it.
Come on, Rob.
Fighting, but nah. His knees actually straightened a little bit too early there, I think. Needed to get those hips, use those hips a little bit more, not use all those strong quads. Let's see if Christian can break this 280 curse. So far, 2 lifters have missed it.
Bar is loaded.
Christian's got that close stance. Now if he gets this, he'll be so close to 700, but just not quite there yet. I'm sure he'll get it at his next comp. Little bit of scooping under the bar. Let's see what the refs have to say. If and the refs agree with me. So he got called for ramping. It's when you push those knees underneath the bar and you use your legs to help support the weight. Now Thomas is going for a PB deadlift.
Bar is loaded for Thomas.
Seven and a half kilo PB. Going for that 700 total, which he's got before, but the deadlift PB he's never got before. Considering how hard he's worked this week, it's amazing if he does get it. Look at him go. And that grind. He wanted that and he got it. 100% deserves that. I've never seen him fight so hard for a lift, and yeah, it was a perfect attempt there. Mahaki's gone up 7.5 kilos for his final deadlift of the day. This is also a 7.5 kilo PB. If he gets it, he'll be at 755. Let's see if Lee can catch up to that or not. Perfect call by his coach there. 300 might have been just a little bit too much for him. Now Lee has loaded 307.5. That is to put him in the lead. So a 12.5 kilo jump to go 757 and beat Mahaki for first overall. If Lee gets this, he becomes our national champion. If he misses, Mahaki is our national champion for 2023. Crowd's getting behind him. And grip just gave out. Sorry, I'm laughing. Patrick Anderson is going for the deadlift record, 331. The current holder of that is Matt Sylvie, a junior. If Patrick wanted to break the deadlift record, he should be going 331.5. The current record is 331. It's Matt Sylvie. According to OpenIPF, which I'm looking at. Anna, the current record is 331. It needs to be 0.5. So I just told the refs that the current record is 331 held by Matt Sylvie, a junior. You cannot go 331, you have to go 331.5. So they're just going to go and check the records.
Currently the current record is 331. We're just
Oh no, it is 330.5 according to this, but it's 331 in open IPF.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Patrick.
Sorry, Steph. It's 331 in open IPF, but 330.5 IPF. Yeah.
And it slips from his hand.
Unfortunately, it slipped from his hands.
Not hard with that one. We are now going to move into our next flight of lifters, our 105 open men for their deadlifts.
So, our national champion for the 93s is Mahaki Korpu. I know that Maui Korpu will be looking to also win the 105, so let's see if we can make it a brother session today.
Bar is loaded. That's sort of loaded there, but we've got one. Just sort of get that lift. 225 kgs. Now they're going to tell them. We got 4 lifters on either side. Bar is loaded for Callum.
Callum's going for red plates. Didn't have the best bench day. Let's see if he can make up for it in his speedy deadlifts. I think he just did. That beautiful opener.
For Sean. Bar is loaded for Sean. Let's go. That was speedy. 3 light legs. Denzel's up next to take 255 kgs for a ride.
Denzel's taking 255 for his opening.
Bar is loaded for Denzel.
This will put him at 712 with his opening pull. His best total is 702 and a half. So with this pull, he will get a 10 kilo PB. It's that squat, he's got that up. And the bench is up too.
Nice looking over there. 3 light legs. 267.5 kgs now for Angus. That's one beefy looking deadlift. Bar is loaded. Let's go, Angus.
Angus loves deadlifts. 267 and a half is a great start for him. I know he's previously pulled 300 in the gym, I think. I don't think it was at a competition. And yeah, it was a bit windmilly, but I think he got it in the end. So maybe he'll be looking to pull around that number today. Good start.
So good lift.
Great start to the deadlifts for him.
We've got 277.5 kg being lifted for Ritter. And the bar is loaded.
Solid opener for Ridmer. He does need to be careful. I can see exactly where he's going to get stuck if it gets too hard, and that's with supporting on the thighs or ramping. So as it gets heavy. So look out for that on his second and third. Hopefully that does not happen to him though, and he knows how to adjust. Cassius has 280 for his opener. Cassius is a hook grip sumo lifter. Pretty good. Has to settle those shoulders down after he pulls. When he locks out, just to make it more obvious. But otherwise a great lift. Maui's opening on 282. Now, Maui's got this weird trend that he squats usually around what he deadlifts. So kind of is a giveaway. But let's see if today he can finally pull more than he squats. Looks like it. Let's see how he goes. Maui's best deadlift is 301. With a 282.5 opener, I can see him surpassing that quite comfortably. Had to think about the lockout a little bit there, but otherwise it was a good opener. Jamie King's coming out next with 297.5. His PB deadlift is 330, which is absolutely massive. It used to be the 93 NZ deadlift record. Obviously, Jamie's now gone up to 105s. I have heard that deadlifts haven't been going that great for Jamie this prep. He did take a little bit of a break after Open Worlds, but that looks so smooth that I think he's got a lot more in the tank, and he'll load what he needs to pull for the win. Sean's opening with 300 kilos. Best is 305, so again he's made some massive progress there. It's an interesting battle today. There's 4 people that want to be on the podium. Most likely only, obviously only 3 will. Most likely it will be, you have to get above 800. Jamie King, the previous national champion of the 93s, has moved up to the 105s. Aaron Hills, the previous national champion of the 120s, has moved down to the 105s. So, yeah, there's a lot of people fighting for it. Sean gets a centre red for shoulder lockout, but otherwise it's a good lift. Aaron Hills is opening with 317.5. He's the guy I was just talking about that's cut down to the 120s. Usually when you cut down weight, it does not affect your deadlift as much. And actually, a lot of people I've noticed can lift more, and that's because you can get into a more optimal position. So Aaron's best deadlift is 325 in comp. This is only 7.5 below that. If this moves well, I'd say he's going to surpass it by quite a lot. Little bit sticky, the top.
And he gets it 3 white lights.
but otherwise great. So we're into the next round of deadlifts. Currently how it stands, Aaron Hills is in first, Sean Winters, oh sorry, that's for deadlifts. It's a bit difficult to work out. Okay, currently in first is Jamie King. Oh no, sorry, Maui Korpu's currently in first. Good lift for Callum there. Denzel's pulling 270 for his second attempt, a 15 kilo jump. Should be quite comfortable based on how his first moved. That was a good lift for Denzel.
282.5 kgs now, and loaded for Oliver. Bar is loaded for Oliver.
Good lift for Oliver there. Let's see how much he loads for his third.
287.5 kgs for his second attempt.
Angus is taking a 20 kilo jump to his second. I think he likes big jumps for his deadlifts. Maybe he'll go 287, see what's left, go 300 if it's there.
Bar is loaded for Angus.
Yeah, based on how that moves, I'd say he's going to load 300. He's ready.
Weight moves to
Next up is Redmare. Can I have a piece of paper? Next up is Maui Kopu. I think he's just chipping as he goes. He's he's just building his total. Doesn't need to risk it all and go 300. He's currently in first with Jamie King behind him. So Maui's got 782.5. Jamie's on 780, and behind Jamie is Aaron Hills with 777.5. So Maui has to be careful, get all his attempts so that Jamie doesn't overtake him. Jamie has to be careful to not give up second place while fighting for first. A little bit sticky at the top, but I think that was still a clean lift. He's now on 792.5 kilos. Cassius is about to total more than 700 if he pulls this beautiful 300. So that's 2 goals right there, I think, 2 milestones. He's got to be careful with grip. I can see it settling in his hands, or is it slipping? Yeah, bit of a lockout issue there. Otherwise, great lift there. 300. Now, Jamie King's jumping to 315 from 297.5. So he's trying to add 17.5 kilos to his total. That will put him 5 kilos ahead of Maui if he gets this. And in first position. Bit of a lockout issue. Grippy's falling out, but actually I'd still say it was locked out. Yeah. He's at 797.5 right now. Maui's at 792.5. Aaron Hills is still to pull. Jamie just pulled 5 kilos ahead of Maui. Maui was in the lead, and Aaron Hills is still to come. And Aaron Hills, I think, is loaded for deadlift record. I think. think he might have spent too much time down there and overthinking it, and so, yeah, I think he lost a bit of that hype and adrenaline that you need. So Aaron Hills is loading 326 kilos. This is the 105 deadlift record, currently held by Jamie King, actually, who is in first position. So if Aaron pulls this, he'll get a deadlift record, and he will be sitting with 786 kilos, still in third place, still a few kilos behind Maui. Let's see what he does. So because it's a deadlift record, they'll, even though it's the second round, the spotter loaders will wipe the bar.
Bar is loaded for Aaron. Let's go.
Very clean deadlift right there. So Aaron's sitting at 786 in third, Maui sitting in second at 792 and a half, and Jamie King is sitting in 797 and a half, first place. Let's see what they do with these last deadlifts and how it shuffles around. Basically, if you miss a deadlift, you're opening the door for someone else to come in and take your podium spot. Unfortunately, that was a little bit too much for Phil. Callum Gordon's gone up 7.5 for his third. So he went 15, 7.5. That's quite reasonable. Take a big 15 kilo jump, then half it and go 7.5. This will put him at 635 kilo total. Just a little bit too much for him today. Maybe he gassed out from that 240, but otherwise a really good deadlift session for him. Good day for him too. Sean's looking to total 692 and a half, looking to take 600 pounds. Another big milestone. We've seen lots of those today. Sean's getting nice and hyped for the 600 pound milestone. I think he's going to lift right at the drop of the music in the background, which is cool. And the crowd gets behind him and he gets it. It's nice to see. Looked clean to me. Yeah. 3 white lights. Denzel going for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry, this weight is a bit. 5 reds, I think. Maybe 6. Wouldn't be able to tell you. It's 5 red plates. I just did the maths. Another milestone. There's the 272.5, the 600-pound milestone, and then there's the 275, the 5 red plates. Locked out his knees a little bit too early, and then his grip failed. He was going to hitch it anyway. I could see his knees starting to unbuckle, so hats off to him for giving that one a go. Just a little bit too much today. But next comp, I'd say he's got it. Oliver's going 290 for his 3rd and final deadlift of the day. He's already hit that above 700 kilo total. Now you just add to it, I guess. Wrapping his hands tightly because I think he knows that his grip could be the thing that fails. It's a huge fight. Grip's the thing that failed. Yeah. Just a little bit too much. Redmer's retrying 292.5 after just missing it on his second. Just doing up his belt. He's got plenty of time though, so there's no rush. That looked nice. Yeah, 2-1, I agree. There was some supporting on the thighs. Those knees just came under a little bit, but otherwise it was only one ref picked it up, so that's a clean lift and it's a good lift. Angus goes 300 as predicted. He wanted it so hard. He tried really hard on his 287 and it paid off. Good job there. so much better than the last time I saw him pull 300. He's going to get hyped it. Yeah, look at him get excited and happy. Hugs his coach John for that. So I think Maui believed before this session started that you needed 800 to win the 105 national title for 2023. With this 300 kilo pull, he will be totaling exactly 800. That's 2.5 kilos above Jamie King. I don't know if that's locked out. Let's see what the refs say. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, unfortunately, I agree. Jason will go to the jury. Cassius is going to pull 310, a 10 kilo PB. Unfortunately, the national title has slipped out of Maui's hands with that not so convincing lockout. The jury does not think it was convincing, neither do the refs. So Jamie's still sitting in first with a 797.5 kilo total. Maui's currently second with 792.5. Aaron is third with 786. Let's see what Aaron loads for this final pull. But before Aaron, we've got Cassius, Jamie King, Sean, and then Aaron. Let's see if the refs picked up that little knee bobble. Might be a good left. Very nice pull there. Jamie King pulling 317.5. I think he's just doing this to get that 800 kilo total. It will be 0.5 kilos below his best, I believe. Yeah, it is. It's 0.5 kilos below his best total ever. He just wants to secure his win with that 800. I think he wants to defend it from Aaron Hills. He knows Maui's already done all his lifts. Aaron could load another could load another 11.5 kilos to match Jamie. But I think that Jamie wants to just defend it and doesn't think that Aaron has another 14. Let's see if Jamie gets another 2.5. He's fighting. He's a good grinder. Unfortunately not there, but 797.5 is currently first. Nearly there at the 800 kilo mark. Considering that Jamie did take a bit of a holiday after Open Worlds, he has done incredibly well so far. Let's see if he walks away with the national title or not. Aaron's jumping 14 kilos as predicted. So he's already got the deadlift record. He's already got a pretty cool total. I think he's ticked his boxes. Cutting down was successful, hitting some PBs. I think now what he's looking for is that national title. So So basically, Aaron's added 12 kilos. This is a pull for the win. So if he pulls this, he goes from 786 to to 798 and wins by 0.5 of a kilo over Jamie King. That cut and that dieting would have all been worth it. Let's see if he can do this. It's a big ask. It's well above the record that he now holds. Taking his time, making sure his grip's all good. It's pulling. It's hard. I don't think he's going to lock it out, though. And your 105 national champion for 2023 is the King, Jamie. And your 93 national champion is Mahaki Korpu. That was actually such a good session.
Stop screaming.
Stephanie, do you know what to do? How do I stop? Like, okay.
Oh, there is that. Do we just stop screaming? Does it just stop?